I guess we could say that this information was more or less going to be inevitable, but I'll be remiss if I didn't say that I felt like Tim Tebow would have had more than just one opportunity to succeed on the Jacksonville Jaguars. So before we get to the content, I just want to let you guys know we're giving away another PlayStation 5 or an Xbox Series X to a subscriber that turns on our notifications on this channel. In addition to that, we're giving away multiple copies of Madden 22. All you have to do is be followed on Instagram or Twitter to enter for a chance to win multiple copies of Madden 22. Now that we got all that out of the way, break! Mike Mafia, for those of you guys that really know me and have been following me on Instagram and on Twitter, you know that my biggest kryptonite is I have trouble sleeping at night and I have severe muscle aches. And I think those are very atypical for a 27-year-old. So I tried melatonin, but I would wake up groggy as hell the next day and I would still have the muscle aches. And I don't even want to go the Brett Favre route. So that brought me to CBD. And thankfully, I'm sponsored by Cannadip CBD, which is also a great alternative if you're trying to get off of tobacco dip, but I've never really used tobacco. So for me, I really like the benefits because it gets me to sleep faster, it relaxes me after a very long day, and it really helps me with muscle and joint pain, which I shouldn't be experiencing as a 27-year-old. But if you want to give it a shot, Cannadips is so confident in their ability to help you fall asleep that they gave me a promo code Mike20 to get you 20% off whenever you go to cannadipcbd.com. That's promo code Mike20 at Cannadip CBD. And trust me, if you're having the same issues that I'm having, this will change your life. Mike check 1212. What's going on, everybody? This news was so breaking today that I literally didn't have a chance to do my hair, nor did I really have a chance to get a full night of sleep. And on top of that, I really wanted to apologize if my voice sounds a little funny. I've been battling a mild cold, guys, but this news was so crazy that I really had to get it to you. So if you could do me a favor and sack the like button for the YouTube algorithm, that would do wonders for me. And let's get to it, because by thinking that the likelihood that Tim Tebow is able to make it to an NFL roster as a tight end, I couldn't help but think that the Jacksonville Jaguars would have given him a little bit more of a chance than what we just saw in his first preseason game. I mean, with all due respect, you pretty much took a man out of retirement, had him train an entire offseason to learn a brand new position at the age of 33, only to cut him after 1 week. And to be honest, I don't know if it's the fact that Tim Tebow didn't do anything that was impressive for the Jacksonville Jaguars in their first preseason game, or if it's the fact that he went viral on the internet for how truly horrific he was on the field. We talked about this a little bit yesterday, how he had 2 blocks on Curtis Weaver that just looked horrific, and how he was getting manhandled by a practice squad pass rusher. And honestly, that didn't make him look good at all, considering the fact that if Tim Tebow did make it to the full Jacksonville Jaguars squad, maybe there would be instances where he would have to block players like Khalil Mack, or maybe there would be instances where he would have to go against players like JJ Watt. And even though JJ Watt isn't the player that he once was, still, if you can't handle yourself against Curtis Weaver, chances are you're going to have a tough time against those players. Chances are you're going to have a tough time against first team, special teams players as well. But through it all, the assumption that we had for the most part was the reason why Tim Tebow was brought along in the first place was because he was a positive presence in the locker room, a good influence on the team, has familiarity with Urban Meyer, and is all around just one inspirational dude. It's pretty much like having the football equivalent of Gary Vaynerchuk in your locker room, and you don't really have to pay him that much, and he doesn't really have to play. So my question is, why would they lure him out of retirement at the age of 33 to have him play at the tight end position if they were going to cut him after 1 week? Was this as a result of him performing really poorly? What if Tavon Austin didn't steal that reception from him and that reception went for a touchdown?
would Tim Tebow still be on the roster? Well, before we get to Tim Tebow's reaction, we have to talk about the elephant in the room, and I'm not pointing fingers at Urban Meyer because this could be a mild stroke of genius, at least in my opinion. You see, there could be a chance, and again, you could comment in the comment section if you think I'm wrong, that Tim Tebow was strictly brought in for hype and publicity throughout the offseason. The Jacksonville Jaguars had a lot going on this offseason. Hiring Urban Meyer was a very exciting move. Drafting Trevor Lawrence was a very exciting move. Travis Etienne, in my opinion, questionable yet exciting move. Honestly, I felt like they should have invested a pick in the offensive line, and I talked about that in our video yesterday. But I feel like what happened was the bad press started to get to the Jacksonville Jaguars. Urban Meyer kind of looked at Tim Tebow's game and said, wow, this man had 2 really bad blocks, and now he's going viral on the internet as a result of it. And this could be seen as a distraction. This was exactly the same issue Tim Tebow would have during his first stint in the NFL. Everything he did, whether it was good or bad, would make people's jaws drop. And if it was good, then fantastic. But if it was bad, it was like also something that was blown extremely out of proportion, even though he wasn't expected to be the greatest player. So as a result, he was deemed as a huge distraction to his team. So I'm assuming what happened in this instance was the fact that it's okay that Tim Tebow had 2 really bad run blocking attempts. What wasn't fine is the fact that I could make a video that gets to over 70,000 views and people are actually interested in ridiculing the man for having 2 bad run blocking attempts. Pat McAfee could talk about it. Skip Bayless could talk about how he thinks Urban Meyer and Tim Tebow are secretly plotting some sort of plan to make teams think that Tim Tebow sucks before actually showing what the real Tim Tebow is all about. And it could get more and more ridiculous, and eventually it could lead to some adverse results on the Jacksonville Jaguars for a player that isn't necessarily even going to make it onto the final roster or isn't even worthy of being one of the 3 tight ends in the tight end room. So now that we have all of that information handed to us, let's discuss how Tim Tebow is digesting this information, because Tebow took to Twitter to say he is thankful for the highs and even the lows, the opportunities and the setbacks. I've never wanted to make decisions out of fear of failure, and I'm grateful for the chance to have pursued a dream. Thank you to the Jaguars organization and everyone who has supported me in this journey, and we know that God works all things together for good. Romans 8:28. A very humble and a very Tim Tebow response, but here's my question at this point. And I feel like this is the only instance that the Jacksonville Jaguars could get what they want out of Tim Tebow in terms of a player that could be a huge influence in the locker room and probably way less of a distraction if you ask me. And that's by making him some sort of film coordinator, some sort of assistant coach, something like what Sean McVay was for John Gruden during the 2010s for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, something in a fairly minor role. I think this is a great opportunity for Tim Tebow to get into coaching if he really wants to be close to football. If he does become a coach, I think this is perfect because at the same time, you're not going to have ESPN talking about horrible plays that Tim Tebow draws or the fact that he did a horrible job running the film room or something like that, because he would have a very small role as a coach on the coaching staff. I'm not talking a coordinator position. I'm not talking a head coaching position. I'm talking like a coaching assistant. Maybe one day he finds himself into the QB room to be a quarterback's coach and climbs the ladder from there. You already have your college head coach who you've had the most experience with so far, and I honestly think it's a perfect fit. But for now, Tim Tebow's football dream is over until we see what the next step in his journey is. Is he going to go back to baseball? Is he going to go back to an analyst role? Or is he going to pursue coaching? Or is some other team going to sign him? Let me know what you think is going to happen next in the comment section down below. Aside from that, I'm your boy Mike, and I'm dropping our mic until our next upload.